right, welcome back, and we are very pleased to have the sheriff remain with us, Tim Soignet of Terrebonne Parish. And Sheriff, I know you've had to intermingle a lot of things, and a lot of people looking to you for the leadership. The National Guard comes down. You're working well with the chief. I love the way your relationship is, and that's a lot of things to handle, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
How's it going with that?
Well, my military kicks in. But, National Guard came in. A lot of these guys are all locals, too. There's a lot of local people that's in the National Guard here, and they had a very specific mission, which they're here to provide humanitarian aid at these pods. I mean, we had a lot of volunteers earlier. They were getting worn out and beat down, and they're kind of filling those gaps of helping people load water, load things that come out here. They're really, those guys that came here now was very specific and help, and they're able to fill in a couple gaps that normally we would help out with. But I mean, I got a lot of my trustee manpower that's not here that normally I can put trustees, so they're kind of filling up those gaps that we normally fill in. And but bottom line is those guys that are here are very strict. Mission on what they're doing is to help certain things, humanitarian aid at the Civic Center. So we're trying to get things out there to our community and help our community get back on its feet.
When you're riding in the areas of Terrebonne Parish, I know you well enough to know you now that you've been down all the areas multiple times.
Many times.
They're going to come to you, and they're looking for that strength. They're looking for that encouragement. What do you tell them?
God's not going to give us more than we can handle. And we're going to stand strong, and we're going to be together as a community. We're only stronger when we're together. And but we're going to keep fighting the fight, and I keep my officers keep fighting the fight, and we're going to keep this. It's almost like a war zone out there, but we got to keep the resources pumping so that people can get back on their feet, and I think that's important, and it calms a lot of the storms down there. And I'm seeing fuel trucks going down the bayous, and that's important so the gas stations are not clogged up where you can bring fuel in where otherwise they can't get it.
Right.
And so I think that's important, getting those resources down to the ground level, or ground zero, if you would, so that can give those people some relief. And it really breaks my heart, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm proud of our community. I'm very proud of those guys on those bayous because they held their own. They're starting to clean up, and they're not asking for nothing, but we're making sure they're getting the things they need to get it done. And that's what makes us very unique in South Louisiana.
And I've seen that as we're broadcasting to outside through YouTube and through Facebook, and a lot of people still tuned in who don't even live around here. They're watching us. We're becoming an example of how to do, because they're so used to seeing other cities with the handout.
Well, they're
people
waiting.
over here are getting after it.
Look, the day after the storm, I made it down to Pointe, Chene. There was a man on the roof, and a man next door helping a guy with his roof. And he was rebuilding his roof, and I'm sure there was a lot of flying sheet metal debris, but he was putting a temporary and doing something in his house and helping his neighbor. To me, that warms my heart, because you got neighbors helping one another. And, 9/11's coming up, and it put our country at its knees, but it brought us together. And you know what? This might be a bad thing that happened in our country and happened in our parish, but people are working together and getting through all of these other differences, but more importantly, they're working together. And, I hope the community can remember this, that, when we work together, we're much stronger.
And as we saw when the storm hit, and there's a lot of people coming into town, Sheriff, that are seeing the streets now, and they're saying, well, the houses look bad, but the streets look pretty good, and the telephone poles look pretty good, because a lot's been done. Y'all were clearing streets, and it was a massive project.
Well, I think I may have said this on a previous segment earlier when I came here. We did some rescues during the storm, and
Over 100.
And look, and I'm gonna say this again: the fire departments, I'm proud of those guys. They deserve a big pat on the back. I'm proud of you. What they've done, and we were able to help them do, was try to help clear roads and get out there and do it. That's what we do. And then we're out there clearing roads because they understand emergency vehicles. They understand we got to get down there, and we understand that. And look, we met in certain points where they were working on one side, we're working on another, to meet in the middle. And we were doing that within hours after the storm passed. And I'm proud of that. I'm very proud of that. I'm proud of our law enforcement. I'm proud of our firefighters and our first responders out there doing those things. That's what this is about. We got to get back on our feet, and what's important that we can keep resources going down those bayous, but you can't get if you can't get roads clear.
And our medical personnel still working in all this.
And they're still working through all of that, but more importantly now, the ambulances could relatively fast get down there if somebody needed medical help, because we know this. We deal with this every single day, and we understand having an obstructed roadway can be very difficult for the first responders to get down
And
there.
thanks to the ones who opened up to fix tires. We needed that.
And I have, we had tires, and I said, we're not replacing tires, we're just plugging them. And using the fix-a-flat stuff.
Yeah.
And we just keep pumping it in there, and it's like, look, we're gonna do what we gotta do, we'll worry about tires later, but we gotta keep these vehicles rolling so we can get out there, get out to the public. And I mean, right now, we have 5 tons that are pumping commodities down the bayous. I've coordinated, Salvation Army called. They're set up, they're set up a site up in, off of South Terrebonne to help feed that commodity site that's there, or that pod that's there, but also pumping on the bayous where the people need that assistance.
Right.
But the thing is, as long as we get it to them, they're out there cleaning their homes and getting their stuff back in order, which they don't need to be on the road trying to search and hunt for those type of things. And when we can get it down to them, we rebuild this parish much faster.
Sheriff, I want to thank you for coming on, and like I said, I never knew you that
Can I
well
say one
before.
thing?
Absolutely.
Look, our law enforcement office, Home Police Department, Terrebonne Parish Sheriff's Office, I'm proud of them. I'm proud of what they were doing, and we continue to work. I'm very proud of those guys that's doing that work every day.
And we're proud of you. Thank you for your leadership. We
Thank you.
appreciate it. All right, once again, the Sheriff of Terrebonne Parish, Tim Soignet. We're looking for all our leaders to be leaders. Like I said before in the show, no time for photo ops. They take time to come in and give us information. We appreciate that. We're going to take a break. We're awaiting the parish president of Lafourche. Don't go away.